அண்ணாமலையாருக்கு அரோகரா. தீப ஜோதிக்கு அரோகரா. தீப சுடருக்கு அரோகரா. அண்ணாமலையாருக்கு அரோகரா. அண்ணாமலையாருக்கு அரோகரா. அண்ணாமலையாருக்கு அரோகரா. அருணாச்சலனுக்கு அரோகரா.
Would you believe if I said it is well past midnight and that was a spiritual vibe of this city? I'm blessed to be back at Tiruvannamalai. I strongly believe that we get to visit some of these prominent temples only when the Lord calls us. And this time I'm here with a bigger wish in my mind. I wanted to do Girivalam at Tiruvannamalai because while growing up I've heard a lot about Girivalam, how during Paurnami days it is extremely crowded, and there are people who come every month to do this Girivalam at Tiruvannamalai. It is a 14-kilometer walk around the Arunachaleshwara hill. So during my first visit, I saw many people doing this and they were doing it like a piece of cake. So I wanted to try as well, and I have come to Tiruvannamalai to seek the blessings of Arunachaleshwara and begin the walk. I get goosebumps every time I visit Arunachaleshwara temple. We get to stand sometimes only a few minutes at Annamalayar Sannidhi, but that few minutes makes you so teary-eyed. That's how that darshan is. So it was around 5 p.m. and Annamalayar darshan was over and Unnamalayamman darshan is also over. But it was still hot. We couldn't walk comfortably without footwear. So we decided to head back to the room and come back at night. The temple is filled with people at any point of time you come, irrespective of the main sanctum is open or not. So even if the Sannidhanam is not open, the devotees come, hang around the temple. Some sleep in these corridors, some just go around Girivalam and then come to seek darshan. Some don't enter the Sannidhanam for darshan because the hill, Arunachaleshwara hill itself is God. So they come, finish the Girivalam and move on to their cities. But since we had already taken darshan in the afternoon, we decided to take blessings from outside and start the Girivalam from the Kilaku Gopuram, the East Gopuram. So throughout your Girivalam, there will be 8 prominent lingams, which is like Indra Lingam, Chandra Lingam, Surya Lingam, Isani Lingam. So there are some 8 prominent lingams that come around the hill, and as you walk, you stand for getting darshan in each of the lingam. So many people do this Girivalam through auto or their own vehicle. They hire vehicles and stop at these prominent temples, go around the hill and get back. This was the first lingam. We did get in for a quick darshan of Indra Lingam. At first it was very overwhelming to do the Girivalam or start the Girivalam because this is bang in the middle of a busy town. So there is lot of vehicles honking around, and it is plain tar road which is not so clean, right? So I was a little conscious of it, but then you see so many bhaktas walking on this road, and some are wearing socks, some are wearing slippers, and very few are wearing slippers, but most of them are barefooted and they continue to walk. And this kind of motivation pushes you to continue with your walk as well. Even though we are walking through the city, at some places I felt, am I going in the right Girivalam path? Is this really the Girivalam path? But then you see others also walking on the same path, and you are on the right path. And there is no way you can get lost. It's coming around the hill, and somebody or the other will obviously guide you to do it. So this is the second lingam, Agni Lingam, which needs a detour. But at this point, we decided not to stop visiting the lingams, but continue walking around and finish our Girivalam. Because we started at around 8:30 p.m. It's not a Paurnami day, so the rush wasn't so much, and these smaller lingams around the temple were shutting down. So we wanted to finish the Girivalam. Initially, I was walking very fast as though I have some 10k step goal to finish, and the first 4 kilometers I finished really quick in 1 hour. But then my partner has done Girivalam before as well, so he was asking me to slow down, save your energy. But I was like this superwoman, I'm gonna do Girivalam all the 14 kilometer in 2 hours and I'll go and all that. So big fault. Don't do Girivalam so fast. Take your pace, and from the beginning, take it slow. This is the juncture which separates off or parts off into highway and around the hill. So the right side takes you on the walk or the Girivalam path around the Arunachaleshwara hill. So after this point, the traffic kind of eases, and this is the map you will be following, and all the lingams will be marked on this map. Further and further as you walk, you also know how many kilometers you have completed, and it is easier to keep your target as you follow this map. At this juncture, I made a mistake. So I stepped on something, and the mind is so automatically programmed like I'm wearing a shoe or a chappal. I immediately rubbed my feet against the land to take it off, and it peeled off a little bit of my skin. So I just did some jugaad of tying a kerchief and putting a socks over it, and I still continued to do my Girivalam, but that hurt was there. Throughout the path, at whatever time it may be, there are people selling water, tea, coffee, tennanguruthu like this. So something or the other you can always consume on the way to keep your energy high and carry on with your walk. Fifth kilometer. Sixth kilometer. Sixth kilometer down, and all of us are down. I was surprised to see deers in this path. In the morning, this place is filled with monkeys as well. So whatever you're carrying, you carry it safe. So this is Ner Annamalai. So this temple is facing Arunachaleshwara hill, straight opposite Arunachaleshwara hill, and this is called Ner Annamalai. So these are some of the points you keep in mind while walking, that some prominent temples and this much of kilometer you have marked. There are actually nearly hundreds of temples in this Girivalam path. Not just the 8 lingam that we talked about, right? There is so many temples for Vinayagar, Murugar, Amman, other lingams as well. I even saw Nityananda's big temple complex in this path. So there are plenty of places. If you want to stop, you can keep stopping at all of these temples and get their blessings. Even otherwise, they are always going to bless you as you pass by. It was time for a tea break for me. I decided to energize myself with some hot chai, and tea time helped me stretch a bit and get me the chai that I wanted. Kilometer, 6 kilometer. 6.5 kilometer. 7 kilometers. Okay, if this grosses you out, Girivalam is not for you. So that's the effect of walking on the tar road, and that's how it's going to be. But devotion and bhakti are totally a different feeling, right? When you walk with bhakti and you think of Shiva and do everything keeping him in your mind, it really doesn't matter. You just continue to walk. And on the way, you will see a lot of Yasagargal like this asking for alms. So, a lot of people come to Tiruvannamalai out of devotion. They renounce their life, and in this path, you will see them living their life. Sometimes you will come across Siddhargal too, which we may not know if they are Siddhargal or Rishis. And some people stop to give them food, biscuit packets, some form or other donation they give. But I realized if you give alms to 100, other people also come, so that was also a little tricky. So it's up to your choice on how do you want to donate to them. At this point, I felt, why people would love to do Girivalam on Paurnami, right? So this was not even a Paurnami, and still that half moon over the hill was so lovely to watch.
Exhausted. 5 more kilometers. 5 more kilometers.
I was exhausted. 5 more kilometers were left, but from this point onwards, you are able to see the Annamalayar or the Arunachaleshwara hill more prominently, and it kind of gives you a sense that Annamalayar is watching you and guarding you. So this is a Jyotirlinga and an Agni Sthalam, meaning he appears as a column of light and cools down in this hill. So the whole hill is considered as Lord Shiva, and you're coming Valam. That is Giri Valam. You're coming around the hill. So I was exhausted, but still it kept me pushing to continue the walk. We are back on the road. I think this was close to the bus stand, and traffic was back. I was pretty much walking in the middle of the road, as though you can hit me if you want. I don't care, because on the side it is so much dust, and I was complaining so much to my partner about how sweaty it is that he decided to fan, and he was so supportive. Some massages were also had to be done to continue with the walk.
1 more kilometer left.
It is really not about the stamina or the 14 kilometer to walk. It is very difficult to walk on this tar road. But then look at this Amma with kid on her shoulder. You see such things and draw the strength and continue to walk. I though was walking on the white markings you see in the middle of the road. That painted section is the only section easy to walk with no dust. And someday I hope they have such 2 to 3 feet length of painted sections for devotees to walk. I finally finished the Girivalam, the 14 kilometer walk. All credits go to Annamalayar. I never in my dream thought I'll be able to complete this. I contemplated getting into an auto many times. So I was in tears when I was back at this Gobram. Annamalayare Potri Potri. That's all I can say, and look at this spirituality over here. So this is the Josh you'll see, and people are starting to walk at this hour as well. So.